Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. Today, we are going to have pumpkin pancakes. You got your aid from the SPTV Foundation and the MJR Aftermath Foundation. You got a roof over your head. You got your transportation and the clothes on your back. But guess what? The most things you need is food to keep your fuel. It's the same one that goes into the car, only the cars take gasoline and we happen to take food. So this is where this comes in. Of course, making pumpkin pancakes. So here we go. We're going to need 2 cups of flour. Okay. All right. Two cups of flour. A little bit in there, so all right. Okay. Now this whole bag is done, so this is going to recycle. Of course, we can't dump anything on Earth because it puts a hole in the ozone layer. All right. Okay. So I have this too. It's the unbleached flour. Of course, regular flour. Another flour that you see where they use bleach to keep it preserved, I guess. This doesn't have any, and it's all-purpose unbleached flour. So, all right. Okay. I'm going to put each and every time I add an ingredient, I'm going to put it away because I have a limited space. So, let's go back. 2 tablespoons sugar. That's what we're going to need. Yeah, I'm sounding like a hypocrite when I'm using this sugar since it's bleached up. So guess what? It was cheaper this time around for me, so why not? But the natural ones with no bleach, yes, I like those. Hopefully I'll get it next time. Okay. All right. And then we're going to need 3 tablespoons baking powder. So here we go. Okay. And each and every time I add an ingredient in, I'm going to mix it up so it won't be as complicated to actually combine them all together. This makes it easier. But if you have a sifter, you can add each and every dry ingredient together and mix it in. If you use it, it'll automatically mix it in. Okay. And then we're going to add a can of pumpkin. Here's my can opener. Okay, we're going to open it up. And of course, you know this is the fall, so we're using fall recipes. Of course, this was a regular pancake recipe that I was using in the past previous videos. But this time I'm adding ingredients, so it'll probably be okay. And this is the season for all the with such food as pumpkin, apple, squash, all the fall foods that you see. Okay. All right, now we're gonna put it in. Let me get spatula. Okay. Spatula out. Gonna stick this in. All right. And of course, you know that there is no pumpkin in the jar, so you can actually use a regular cooking pumpkin, regular size pumpkin, not that big. It's about, I think, 5 inches. No, anywhere between 5 and 7 inches. You can cut it up and use those if you like. All right. Hopefully in the future we'll find this in a jar. But as of now, there isn't any. And of course, to save money, you can buy store brand pumpkin or any other product that you can use in your other recipes in brand name. Okay. Right. All right. Now if you want to add salt, you can. It's optional. I'm gonna mix this up. Okay. We're gonna add we're gonna add 1/3 teaspoon of nutmeg. There we go. And we're gonna put this back. No, as I say, I'm gonna put back each and every product back. Okay, every time I actually use it, so I can have more space on my counter. we go. All right. Now we added the 3 tablespoons. Did we? No, we didn't. Okay. Did we? Nah. Okay, let me see. Just in case, I'll add 1 more tablespoon. Okay. There. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Got my medication this morning, of course. You know that in the past I did all my videos and I told you that I have ADHD. So I forgot to take my medication, of course. That's what happens if you forget. Okay. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm telling you, these companies, they say you can use this for your spoons. It's not big enough. So we're going to use a teaspoon cinnamon. Go. And of course, you know, this is brunch. This is maybe a little bit later in the morning making it. And usually brunch goes on Sunday from, let me see, usually from 6 or 7 in the morning till 12, and then it'd be lunch. So, well, that's why they call it brunch. It's between breakfast and lunch. So it goes from 6 or 7 until 2 o'clock. That'd be lunch. So that's why they call it brunch. All right. Okay. And then we're going to add 2.5 cups of non-dairy milk. Okay. If you run out, you can use water, but I got a little left, so. Just 1 cup. Looks like I ran out, so I'm going to actually finish it off with water. So I'm going to fill it up, fill the rest up. Okay, so here I go. Okay. And then we're going to mix it up. Oh, I wish you can smell the pumpkin and the spices in here. It is amazing, let me tell you. All right. Now, do I have any other Scientology or any other cult stories? Yeah, I am going to think of some. Oh, jeez. So, Okay, because last night, I was trying to think of story to do. I haven't came up with a story yet, but you will eventually know. Let's see. I'll think of one when I'm actually making my pumpkin pancakes. All right. Okay. And you know that I'm going to only be on maybe 3 or 4 times a week because I'm not on the directory for Beyond Me. I'm going to try hard to get on it. Hopefully I'm going to find a way to get on a good side, and then I'll go ahead and butter her up. But I'm going to be nice. Don't get me wrong. If it doesn't work out, well, guess what? I'm going to come up with an SPTV space of my own. Ask Aaron if I can use the logo, and then make one of my own. So, and plus all the people that's supposed to be on it will be on it. Janice Gillengrady and Mark Fisher are not on SPTV space. And guess what? Janice Gillengrady actually knew Hubbard. So why she's not on there, I don't know why. If I'm mistaken, you can go to my email down below. Okay. So far, I haven't seen her on there, and I'm in shock because she actually knew Hubbard. So I think she's turned it into a popularity contest. So let's see if I can whisk it at the same time to get the lumps out. Okay. All right, here we go. Alrighty. Okay, I wish you can smell this. It is unbelievable. You smell the spices that are coming out here. And of course, you know the pumpkin. It is going to be so amazing. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, it got some of the lumps out. So let me use this maybe if I. Okay. All right. Okay, just got some of this off. So this is in the sink now. Finish stirring this with this. So okay. And yeah, John A. Tix also knew Hubbard. Why he's not on there, I don't know. But looks like she wants to turn it into a popularity contest. So, and some people on the site actually, on that directory, actually knew Hubbard. I don't know what to tell her. So, and of course, well, maybe you know that Mimi Rogers and Tom Cruise started dating right after Hubbard's death. So, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. 1, 2. Okay, that should be it for that. All right, we're going to wipe this off. Okay. Okay. Put this back. Then I'm going to stir it in. And we're going to use this for the pan. Oh, I wish you can smell these spices. Okay. All right, so, and yeah, in the future, if it doesn't pan out, and I'm not on it or any other person's not on it that I just mentioned, yeah, I'm going to put up an SPTV space of my own, only it's going to be branded in a different name, even though I'm going to use SPTV. All right. Yeah, because the people who are not on it actually knew Hubbard, like I just mentioned. So I'm not going to get angry with her, because being angry doesn't, and getting all mad is not going to, it's not going to accomplish anything. So this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to actually be nice to her, because you make more honey, you make more friends with maple syrup than or salt, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. All right. And if you're going to start your own SPTV programming, do background checks with every program you use. Because you may never know, although the logo with duck on it is legit. And of course, we all know YouTube's legit, TikTok's, well, they're having, I guess they might straighten this out. So, I'll bring TikTok up later. They had some issues in the past. I don't know what those issues were. So, okay. Stir this up. All right. Oh, I wish you can just smell this. It's unbelievable. Now we're going to put the cinnamon back. And the baking powder back. Okay. Stir it up to get the lumps out. Alrighty. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a batter bowl. Okay. So, all right, I guess that should do it. So we have to move on. So we can go on to the next one. Of course, pumpkin has beta carotene, and you can eat. use it for other recipes. It's just not for pumpkin pie anymore. You can make things like pumpkin bread, pumpkin pancakes, and you can even have it as the side dish with your meals. So it's just not for pumpkin bread, pumpkin pie. You can use it as a side dish. All right, so now we're going to spray on this oil into the pan. So, okay, now I'm going to have it on medium heat. Okay, there we go. Now, while you're waiting, I'm going to get my coffee because I'm grouchy without my morning coffee, so let me get it. All right, it's my morning coffee. So now we're going to use the 1/3 cups to actually scoop up the batter and stick it in our pan just as soon as it gets hot. So while that's heating up, let's see if we can get rid of the rest of the lumps in our batter. Okay. All right. What other subjects is there? Okay. So yes, I'm definitely doing back checks on search engines. And let's see, to see what is legit and what's not, because some search sites, I'm not saying all of them, don't have that much a great of a reputation. So do your background checks. Of course, you're gonna make errors too. So that happens. Just don't be hard on yourself. Okay. All right. Okay. And okay, it's hot. All right. So we're going to add our pumpkin in, our pumpkin batter in. Let me get a spoon to spoon it out. Okay. All right. And I'm going to spoon out the next one. Oh, I got to get another spatula to flip it. And here it is. I got it to flip it over. So here Here we go. So here it is. All right. There we go. All right, so now each and every time I add another pancake, I will only eat a certain amount because I'm not going to eat the entire bowl because that's too fattening. So, okay. All right. Okay. And some of it I'm going to actually put up to wrap. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, fiddle around with this. There. Okay. Now, when you wrap it up, be careful it's not anywhere near your stuff. So I'm going to move this over. All right. Okay. So now, there. Okay. Now, what other stories do I have that I should talk about? Okay. Yeah. Now, I don't know who would actually have a counter protest against the Scientology protest against Scientology, but they had a counter protest. Now, I don't know who would actually come up with that, since, of course, we found out that it was a cult, and who would want to support a cult? Yeah, Scientology. Now, would Jehovah's Witness be actually supporting them? No, because guess what? It's the Lord's work, and they think just because they're worshiping God, they think it's not a cult. In fact, it is. So, do some people actually think they're a cult? No. And this is the thing. People invite them into their house. So, if you're one of them, think it over first before you actually invite these people into your house. Okay, because they're not any better than Scientology, because they abused children in the past. Some women got assaulted. And of course, they would have slave labor as well. So you can't take their word for it. But as of their tax exempt status, yeah, they're actually following the rules. I mean, they only spend money on the materials they have, talking about the good Lord, or however they think they see God or Jesus. Yeah. They're the same as any other cult. So don't let them con you either. So some of them are actually nice people. They just think they're putting themselves in a worthy cause when in fact they're not. And I did meet some of these nice people before. So oh, it's a little flat. So I'm gonna actually put more. Yeah, I'm gonna actually put more baking powder in. So yeah, I guess I didn't put the amount I should have. Okay. And it looks like I'm gonna have to buy more of this. All right. I'm gonna mix it up together. All right, so this is running low, so I have to go shopping for more. And let me see. All right, I'm gonna put it on medium, turn it down a notch. So, see about this. All right, so let me stir this up because it looks like I didn't put it in because I see flat. I see this whole thing flat, so I'm gonna have to stir this in. Put this on top of that. All righty. All right. There we go. And that should be it. All right. So we got our seasoned batter ready. Of course. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Because you know I'm gonna wrap this up in case it doesn't work out. And I'm not gonna have the whole bowl because it'll be a lot. So okay. All right. And what else? So if they come into your neighborhood, knock on your door, Jehovah's Witnesses, just send them away because they're not any better than Scientology. And the Mormons actually do the same thing. Okay. I think this might be done. Yeah, it's done. Okay. So I'm going to put this here until it cools off. Alrighty. I'll let it cool off. Okay, now we're gonna pour in the next batter. All right, there we go. Yeah. Yesterday was a trip because of that kind of protest with Scientology. It's just too funny. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm thinking, who on earth would want to have a counter protest with with Scientology being the issue? Even after, yeah, it's unbelievable. And what else is there in the news? Of course, I mentioned yesterday about the Remedy and Tom Cruise's battle yesterday. Yeah, it looks like he's actually done. His career is gonna be demolished. He's not gonna recover from it. So if I was in his shoes, thank God I'm not, I'd take my millions, walk off into the sunset. Is he worth $1 billion? No, he's about 4 million short. He's worth, in his account, he has 600 million. Now, you know, he donated 4 million he donated 4 million of those to Scientology. Yeah, they're not worth the donations. So guess what? Save your money. Because some of these celebrities, yeah, they got taken for a ride. They don't think they did. Neither did Tom Cruise, but yeah, they were taken for a ride. So, and it happened to the best of us. So, and whoever said they weren't taken for a ride before, yeah, they're lying. And the good reason is they might be embarrassed. So, we're not going to milk this either. So, all right. So, this is looking pretty good. So, we're going to flip this one over. Okay. And is this actually? Yep, this is pretty good too. Flip that one over. It is just so amazing. This is what it looks like. All right. It is unbelievable. Yeah, we're going to wrap these. Oh, still got to cool off a little. I don't want to melt that wrap. Now, what else is there? Yeah. And yeah, since that day it happened, there was they called the Congressional Government Emergencies meeting on what to do with Scientology. Of course, you know, in the past, Scientology made contributions to every presidential, Congress, town representatives in the past. They did. They made a donation to them in hopes that they would look the other way. Of course, you know, not all of them like that. They expect everybody to follow the law, but some of them are actually corrupt and would take the contributions, but the good ones won't. How do I explain Barack Obama and Bill Clinton? I guess they must have thought they were legit when actually they weren't. I mean, they did make it sound so good, since Tom Cruise in the past was a nice guy, but now David Miscavige corrupted him. Now, David Miscavige shouldn't be totally to blame. Now, he didn't have to go along with any of the things that he was doing, but he did. And as of John Travolta, now, I'm not trying to make any excuses. He is still a great guy. But the fact that he's still in there and promotes it should be another thing. But at the same time, he isn't going to any of these Scientology events, and neither is Tom Cruise. I guess they must be thinking, you know what? I think they're going to Scientology's going to meet their demise, but at the same time, they will take it underground, possibly under another name, who knows, but they are going to take it underground if they still wanted to keep it around. And what else is going on? Yeah. I mean, are you shocked at John Travolta? I'm shocked at John Travolta since my theater professor worked with him. He actually thought he was a nice guy. He probably still is, but he's doing whatever Scientology is doing. So I don't know what to tell him. He is a nice guy. But sometimes that's just the way things go. I mean, sometimes they're not going to understand the situation. Now, is he the architect? It doesn't look that way. It doesn't look like he's behind the scenes like Tom Cruise is and fixing it all up to look pretty, because he doesn't go into any of the events and he doesn't really talk about it, even though Scientology doesn't let anyone talk about it. Am I making excuses for him? No. He's still in that organization. But at the same time, I think David Miscavige might have something over his head. So, but Tom Cruise is going along with whatever David Miscavige is saying, doing, whatever. He might be one of the architects behind it. So you can't trust Tom Cruise. Hopefully, John Travolta will see. He is a nice guy, but keep your fingers crossed and hope that he sees that organization for what it really is. I mean, he's already making fun of David Miscavige, but you know what? Because in the past, he was laughing. According to, I think, Aerosmith Levin, they would laugh and joke about David Miscavige, of course. That's what they usually do to people who are not worth saving. So, okay. Yeah, and if you're joining us, and I know you are, I am making pumpkin pancakes. All right. And let me go over the recipe with you. It's 2.5 teaspoons flour, 2 tablespoons sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And if you want to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, it's optional. And 2.5 cups of non-dairy milk and 2 tablespoons olive oil. Now, you also add in a can of pumpkin, a small can of pumpkin, and 2 teaspoons cinnamon and 1/3 teaspoon of nutmeg. Isn't that amazing? So, yes. And oh geez, what's his pack? I mean, and stained glass. Well, I will be making baklava, and one leading towards November, because next Saturday, with my recipes, I am gonna have a countdown till Thanksgiving with all the Thanksgiving dishes that you would find on a Thanksgiving table. That's next weekend. That's what I'm gonna do. So here we go. So those are the plans I made for the kitchen next weekend. So hang in there, because it's going to be an exciting show. So I call it countdown till Thanksgiving. Then I'm going to have countdown to a Christmas table dinner. And what to do on Christmas with decorations. Yeah. It's going to be exciting for the next 2 months. Of course, next weekend, well, the 31st is on, let's see. Oh, well. Let me see here. All right, yeah. Okay. Oh, green grass. Sorry. I'm sorry, green grass. Yes, that's what I'll be having. All right. It's going to be pretty exciting, so please tell your friends. Okay. So, not only I'll be decorating, cooking, I will also be talking about Scientology, just like every Friday I am talking about Scientology. I'll be doing the same thing on that day when I actually pretty up my vase. Yeah, I call it Art Therapy Corner, even though I'm not a therapist. But if you're interested in art therapy, go to the link down below. It'll be not written in, but you can go to NAMI, check with them. They would have all that information for you. If not, and it's not at the bottom at the moment, then I will put it in because I always do. So, okay. All right. So now we're going to put the next batter in. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted. So it will be exciting. But of course, my Christmas tree is not going to be that big because guess what? I have no kids and my nieces and nephews are grown. So in the past, they did help me. Now they're adults. They graduated college. And they have careers of their own. So yeah, they got their own busy schedules. All right. They call me Auntie Nisa now, but in the past they actually called me Tata Nisa. And as soon as one of them has kids, they're going to call me Tata Granny. So there you go. And let's see. So yeah, they helped me decorate in the past. It looks like I'll be doing it for you guys, only in a smaller Christmas tree. So I'll do that. And yeah, it's going to be a smaller Christmas tree. And I'm going to have it right on a dining room table in my living room. Should I have a party? Maybe. And I'm taking a we'll see approach. All right. So then, all righty. So what else is going down? All right. Oh, call one of your friends if they're available to actually hop down and watch. If they're too busy, understandable. All right. Now, let's see. What else is going down? Okay, let's see. And as you know, the last time I checked, there are not that many Scientologists here in Cleveland, Ohio. The last time I checked, there was only 13 of them from 2005, I think. Yes. Last time I checked, it was only 13. So I don't know how they come up with the amount that they come up with, especially David Miscavige. They're not actually doing any counting. And according to Aaron, they have no clue how many Scientologists are actually in the organization. And neither does David. Now, he is the only one that benefits from the donation and the slave labor, as you know. So, yeah, he is a piece of work, isn't he? So, now I'm not going to eat eat up the entire batter, because guess what? I don't want to get fat. So I'm already a little big enough as it is, even though I dropped 10 pounds. It is so exciting about its own. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. And of course, I don't have a camera to actually take you on my Christmas shopping with me. So, and I definitely can't use my cell phone camera, because guess what? My brother put a parental control on it. Why be on me? I don't know. But yeah, it's unbelievable what people do, isn't it? So, what else is there to tell? Okay. Oh, this is going great. The pancakes is looking so great ever since I add 2 more of the baking powder in. And of course, let me see. Yesterday I made caramel apples. That's right. And in case you weren't there yesterday, let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like now. It's caramel apple, and I added the brownie bits and the chocolate chips from last week. Now, if you don't have a popsicle stick, and it does look so funny, doesn't it? Then improvise. Use something smaller, like a corn holder when you eat your corn, or one of those tiny little pitchforks. Yeah, it's used to actually grab cheese. So you can use that. Just get creative, not restrictive. Okay. All right. And this is what my shepherd pie looks like. Of course, I left it in the oven a little longer, but there it is. Is it really burnt? I don't think it is, because it looks fine to me. I don't know. Because the cheese that I'm using doesn't really melt that much at all. So, okay. Let me see here. All right. All right. in case you weren't there yesterday, with the caramel apple, I added a 1 1/3 vegan butter, then the brown sugar, regular 1/4 cup of regular sugar. Then there's the corn syrup you add, and then the condensed milk. Now, it is optional. It looks like it should be optional, but it's a vegan type. And you add 1 can, 1 small can. And that's how you make the caramel apples. And the brown sugar, you add 1/4 cups. So, and it, as you saw, is so amazing. So you should have saw it when it was actually cooking. It looked so good. All right. Yeah, and we're going on to 1 hour already. The time is really flying right by. Of course, we all know we're getting older. I'm going to flip these over now. All right. And what else is going down? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a silent week starting next week because I will be decorating and cooking like there's no tomorrow. Helping you prepare for the holiday under the new roof that you're under, or Scientology's under, or other cults are under. It's a whole new freedom for them. And now, as you know, the Aftermath Foundation, the MJR Aftermath Foundation, and the SBTV Foundation are there to help you get back on your feet again. So it doesn't hurt to actually ask for a little help, even though you want to have some independence in there. But they actually are useful. They don't give you a hand up. They're just, and you don't have to return the money. So it's charity. So that's what they do in charity. So they donate monies to the worthy cause, and they'll help you put a roof over your head, your transportation, all your necessities, including the clothes on your back. And do they actually help you with mental health? I know the Aftermath Foundation might. I don't know if the SPTV might. I don't know. We should ask. So, and let's see here. Okay. Yes. But just in case, I got all the information from mental health in the bottom of this channel, on all the information on mental health facilities. If you're a Scientologist or former Scientologist, excuse me, and you're looking for mental health care, it's right there at the link below. Hit. Okay, just go to mental health where it's written. Click on one of the links. Now, the one that I recommend the most is NAMI. So they're statewide, well, nationwide in the United States. In the United States. And, of course, okay. And like I mentioned, also at the bottom of the link, you will find Clubhouse International. Now, they do help you find a job and maybe a place of residence, wherever they're going to have you live. But however, it's different from the two foundations I just mentioned, which is the MJR Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. It's different because guess what? It is a clubhouse and they have all these activities when you visit, and they actually train you to actually help you get a job. So, and they also will serve lunch. So, well, where I go, they do. So, in the clubhouse, the other clubhouses, do they do that? Now, I don't know the one in Florida, but they definitely do it here in Ohio. It is called Clubhouse, and they use their kitchen to train everybody to actually work in the kitchen. So, and it's what they do. Okay, so far this is what it's looking like. Okay. Oh, here we go. One more time. Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it? So here we go. We're going to put another one in there. Of course, if you need more of the oil base, spray this oil-based spray away from the stove. So there'll be no accidents. All right, so now we're going to put our other next spoon batter in, or cup in. All right. I'm going to scoop this out with the spoon. There we go. All right, this goes back in there. All right, and that's the information I have on that. And what else is going on here? All right, let me think. Ooh. Of course, I did mention before about the Leah Remini and Tom Cruise showdown. I can't help it. It is unbelievable. Everything came out into the open that day. And of course, I can't help but to mention it all over again. But of course, since then, a producer backed out of one deal that Tom Cruise is in. And in half the studios want to keep Tom Cruise in, and the other half doesn't, because they are worried about not only the studio's reputation, but theirs. So, and it's actually, some of them are nice, because I've been doing my art for, I don't really call it acting, I call it art. Because now, to me, it's all about the character you're working on. Forget the fame, forget the money. It's the art of the character that makes the project all the actors are working on. The fame and the money is not important. The character is. So, I mean, it could be a good way to find time and have a hobby that you can use on your spare time. Like going to a community theater. You can do that. Go to your local community theater an audition. Of course, since it says community, it's not going to pay you. I guess the money goes into the community or whatever. Okay. And yeah, and it can be exciting too. And they have it in the schools too. There's our community and it supports their school. So that's why they have all these activities after school, and especially theater. Now, the money they make, goes to the school. So nobody really makes money off of that. And wow, I thought I was going to be stuck on the topics that I was going to talk about, but it doesn't really look that way. So, yeah, so what else is there? Now, starting Friday, I'm going to come up with another project with the base. Seasonal. Now, it's not going to be like the decoration for a pumpkin, even though the 31st is on, I think it might be on a Friday. I'm not so sure. Because today is the 26th. Oh no. Let's see, 26. Today's the 26th. So tomorrow will be the 27th. Tuesday will be the 28th. Wednesday will be the 29th. Wednesday would be the 31st. So Thursday it would be Halloween. Will I dress up? No, because my nieces and nephews are so much older and I get no trick-or-treaters because guess what? I'm on the main street. And as you know, kids don't go trick-or-treating on the main street because the traffic is just too much. You know that for sure. So let's see about these pancakes. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Okay, flip it over. All right. And of course, the reason why I have a conversation while the pumpkins are cooking. This is live and it's not edited yet. And you don't want any dead air. Even though I might accidentally give it to you accidentally. But no, this is why I have all the conversations with you while I cook or bake or whatever. Because you don't want any of the dead air, and neither do I. Dead air, no good. So, or else it's just going to look so boring, not so interesting. And this is not the way the networks use their time. They're not allowed to have any dead air on live TV. Because that'll cost the network money. So, all right. Let's see. What other topics are there? Of course, the holidays are a trip because guess what? They would start having commercials right on this month early. Yeah, I mean, the holiday shopping is too impossible because guess what? The industries make it about money instead of family. Now, this is what the holidays are all about. Family. But you know what? For them, it's all about the money. Mighty buck. It's about the money to them. So, and what else is down? Yeah. And of course, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will be coming up next month on, I believe, this year. Oh, geez, what day does it fall under? Yeah, that I have to check out. So, yeah, and I just mentioned I'm going to have the countdown to all the side dishes that you will see on a Thanksgiving table. Of course, you don't want me to get boring on you, so, all right. Yep, it's going to be, it's party season right now at all the Halloween parties. And Halloween is just not for trick-or-treating and small children. Now, the adults could have a costume party, but of course, they're not going to dress up like the peanut gallery. They're going to dress up in adult costumes. They don't want to look like a 5-year-old child. I don't. So, okay. And Halloween has been in the works for centuries. And it's traditionally a pagan tradition honoring the dead. Of course, I did all my research. That's what it's about. It's about remembering those who passed. It could be anyone. It could be from Abraham Lincoln, who actually put an end to slavery that Scientology has. Now, the government has been looking, of course, the government's been looking the other way with Scientology for years. We are just finding out about this because of the internet. Now, you're thinking, what if the internet wasn't there? Then we would have still been in the dark. And it's going to look like we're supporting it, even though we're not. So, now, not just me, everyone has to think about what's behind the Iron Curtain before making an assumption. We do it consciously and unconsciously. No one's meant to actually have people hurt or cost them their income. That's not what any good person intends. Now, however, the United States government and some of these police departments, some, not all, because there are actually the good amount is actually doing their job and is in the best interest. They do serve the best interest of the people in every town, city in the United States and the world. But we don't think about this as much, but there are corruption in the police department too. Now, it didn't happen to me yet, thank God, but then again, I don't break the law, not intentionally anyway. So I don't break the law in any way. But, okay, ready? Okay. Oh, this is just looking good. All right. We're going to put in the next batter, and I'll try and end this. I'm going to end it as soon as the batter is gone. So far, it is halfway gone. Scoop this out. So there we go. Now, yeah, there are good police officers out there. But the one down the street from me is good. I have no complaints about them whatsoever. They're all doing their job well. But it is a shocker when there are some that are not doing their job or too lazy or whatever, and don't look after the best interests of the people they're serving. But yeah, the LAPD has, well, not all of the LAPD, but some of them, not all of them, are corrupt and have been looking the other directions with Scientology. And it's, oh my gosh, it's really sad that they do this. It's tragic. So the half of the LAPD, I'm saying, do your job. Yeah, it's all, with them, it's all about the money and not the personal safety of other people. It's sad. So, and it's tragic. All right. And the politicians who make the laws don't know better, because some of them are just in there for the campaign contributions and public attention. They don't care about the law. Some of them actually don't care about the law. Okay. But, yeah, and there are the holidays, and some of them don't get the day. Well, some of them, they alternate. Maybe they might have a Christmas party at their department or fire department. I don't know. I don't know what goes on, but I would assume so, since it's a holiday. And they do, I mean, eventually they will go home and be with their families. And there we go. They are celebrated in some way, but it is hard to keep a job as a police officer or a firefighter or paramedic at that point. And the doctors and the nurses, they're working on the holidays. So this holiday, when you see a police officer, just wish them a happy holiday. And it looks like that they're going to eventually go home and celebrate it, eventually, with their families. But it's not going to be like the way we celebrate it. So, okay. I'm sorry for getting bored in there. But, yeah. And, okay, what else is happening? It looks like Public Works and City Hall is going to let Scientology have their permit. Let's see. This Thursday, Wednesday, for their Halloween event. And you know, they've been getting permit after permit after permit for the street closures. But it is awful, especially if that street is used for emergencies, because that's one of the streets that they use on the route to the hospital, paramedics' route to the hospital. They do not think about this at all. David Miscavige doesn't think about anything that he does. And of course, course, OS is too afraid to stand up to him. And some of them are as bad as he is. And yeah, it's tragic. It's the route to the hospital, and they keep closing it down. So, and you can't really close any streets that are en route to the hospital, because eventually something's going to happen. And it'll be a tragic outcome. So there can't be any street closures like that. But check with the laws to see if you want to have an event for the street closures. But the side streets and the streets that are residential usually aren't, but you never know what would happen. So you do have to check with your local city hall, local government town, if you want a street closure. All right, and yeah, this week I managed to get one of my tasks done for the SPTV Foundation. I volunteered for that. Made a couple of calls. I'm not going to say to where, because you know what would happen. Scientology would interfere, mess everything up. And if you want to be a part of the SPTV Foundation or have your own channel, guess what? Go ahead and do it, because I did. And it didn't make any difference what people thought. I just care so much about everyone in that blue building and Scientology all together. And they are living such a tragic life. And of course, according to Aaron Smith Levin, there is no such thing as a big family in Scientology, because guess what? They take all your money. They rob you blind, and you'll be blind as a bat if you donate to them. Yeah, it's tragic. And yeah, and they cut off families, as you know. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Yeah, they're a piece of work. They think about nobody but themselves, especially if they don't scavenge. And oh boy, not about my coffee. Can't survive without that morning cup. Now, okay. What else is there in the world? Okay, my tomorrow's topic, this week's topic that I'm going to do, I don't know, it might be Scientology and the U.S. government. But so far I'm leaning towards that, but I don't know what other stories I'm going to do. In the past, I've done stories about Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons, which with their polygamy, and how those organizations first started too, with Charles Smith, or I think it's Charles, and Charles Tazar or something. I think his last name is Smith, and the other one's Joseph. Now, I don't know what his last name is. I think it's Smith. Well, whatever. And those two guys, yeah, also broke the law. And, the founder of Jehovah's Witnesses, Charles Smith, Tazar, something, had his litigations for fraud. And as of Joseph, I don't know what his last name is, he was actually a polygamist. And they said he can tell the future. Who knows? But one of them did come true, but he still was committing polygamy. So, all right. This is close to being done. All right. And yeah, just because I'm not trying to shove religion down everybody's throat, that's not my intent. But these people think just because they're talking about the good Lord, they think they're not in a cult or they're not a cult leader, but they are. It's sad, yeah. And they act culty too, even though sometimes we don't always see it. So, let me think here. All right. What else? Yeah. And plus, when people read the Bible, one person's going to see it one way, look at the Bible differently in their way, and the other one is going to look at the Bible also the different way. We do not all see the Bible the same way. So guess what? We're not going to look at the Bible the same way. People look at the Bible differently than others. So, and in the past, women weren't introduced as much in the Bible. The only two that it mentioned was Mary Magdalene and Mary, Jesus's mother. And is she a virgin? Well, anything's a possibility. And throughout the years, they said she is. So I'm going to go along with that story. Even though, in this case, no one can get knocked up or pregnant or have a baby without the man. But, yeah, the only way any woman can have a baby is if they have their cycle and nothing's wrong with their reproductive system. So, okay, done. Alrighty. I think I might put a little bit more in here so it doesn't stick. All right. Okay. So we're not going to look at the Bible the same way. Okay. Because some people say witchcraft is evil, but if you look at it carefully, our white magic isn't, but it depends on the person and how they look at the Bible. And one person's going to look at it one way and another person's going to look at it the other. Now, personally, we do not know each and every person's personality, so it's hard to tell. Now, some of those people are not evil, but that's what I thought at first, but there's personality, other people's personality. That's what we're missing in all that. So, and we can't go around hurting other people's feelings. Now, for years, people have been saying Stevie Nicks practices witchcraft and is evil. And on one report, it said that she got her feelings hurt. Now, you don't want to go around hurting other people's feelings. I know I don't. That's not my intent. So we have to really watch what we say, because we can actually accidentally end up hurting a person's feelings. Now, church never actually considered anyone's feelings, even though I do go to church occasionally. So, oh, okay, Charles Tassar Russell. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Yeah, right now I can't really go to Google's information since I'm on here. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, yes, we have to consider other people's feelings. Because I don't want to go around hurting other people's feelings. Now, yeah, some of the places of worship don't consider other people's feelings, and it's wrong. We have to think of other people's feelings. I'm starting to cry. All right. Thank you, Greengrass, for telling me that information. Because, yeah, I did. I forgot his last name. All right. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. And, all right. It's, all right. Yeah. So we have to be careful when we say something. But no, there are some that don't want to intentionally hurt other people. My pastor doesn't. He's actually a very loving person. He doesn't really intend to go out there and deliberately hurt other people's feelings. That's not what he does. Okay. And let me think here. Yeah. And yeah, he's really kind. And is he the best one I ever saw? Yeah, there's one other one I like that he passed on. And this one, he's got such a beautiful family. He's got 2 daughters, beautiful kids. They're now teenagers, so years just go flying right by. And yeah, of course, I'm going to respect their privacy and keep their identity hidden. I'm going to protect their privacy as well as I protect my family's. And yeah, if you choose to do this, ask your family first before actually going on mentioning their names, because they might not want their names mentioned at all. So we have to protect their privacy. And what else is there? Oh, we got some more on, I think. Oh, geez, I don't have my glasses on. Of course, let's see. Well, we think what else is down. Oh my gosh. Let's think. Now, what am I going to do for the holiday season? I'm going to always go be with my family. And, okay. Then after I'm finished, I'll go over the recipe with you. Of course. And, let's see. All right, this one's done. I am almost finished, and I won't bore you to death, so. Okay. Jeez. All right. And What else? Boy. Let's see here. Stevie Nicks says she isn't. Yes, she said she isn't a witch, but she's into the occult. She reads about them. So, yeah, just because they read about the occult doesn't mean they actually are witches. But they just like reading about them. Or go onto the site and watch the programs to kill time, of course. Yeah, because one outlet said she got her feelings hurt. So we really have to think about other people's feelings when we talk. Of course, some of us don't really mean to actually hurt other people's feelings, but yeah, the good ones, they don't really intentionally set out to hurt other people's feelings, because at the end, the good ones always apologize. So, yeah, and oh my gosh, she still has her looks, even though she's in her late 70s and she is approaching her 80s. She still looks so gorgeous at that age. Yeah, she's one of the people that actually age gracefully. Okay. Yeah, and she's not that bad at aging, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I grew up worshiping these people. Wow, my coffee's getting cold. And wow. Okay. Okay, this now. Okay, maybe I should just. Jeez, still a little damp. All right. What other side? I hope I'm not boring you guys. So let's see here. Yeah, I hope I'm not boring you. All right. So far, I thought I was going to be stuck with coming up with topics, but I'm not. Now, maybe towards the end, I might. So let's see. What am I going to do this week? I'm still waiting for my broil to get fixed, because guess what? I have no hot water. Yeah, so I have to boil all my dishes. Isn't that a drag? So it's, I think, a couple of weeks now since I didn't have a hot water. And let's see. Oh, the International Scientologist IAS event is going to take place. So, got to mention it. This week is the week going into November that they're going to have the IAS event. I think that's the way they say it. Let me check. Okay. Yeah. And of course, Alex is going to have his protest. Yeah, so if you want to participate, just let him know ahead of time. And you can book your flight, drive, whatever. Of course, if you couldn't afford to do it. So just let him know ahead of time. Just get on, email him. Of course, he's not going to have his phone number on. Phone number in his list, in his information. So I wouldn't. So, and yeah. I can't afford to do it, but I always wanted to take a trip to London, Italy. I always wanted to take a trip to Europe. And of course, London is not a part of Euro anymore. So hopefully, I hope they reconsider. I hope London reconsiders. Because could they make it on their own? Yeah, it's like breaking up a family. I mean, you can't do that. So, yeah, we're here. You're definitely not allowed to do that. But can you add another state? Yes, you can. And is there time travel? It's always possible. But then there are people that claim that they're time travelers, where in reality they're not. Like Noah, for example. Well, he wears a red shirt and on YouTube doing a story like that. He claimed that he was an actual time traveler when he wasn't. Yeah, he lied big time. Yeah, that's one other thing. Acting is lying. According to my theater professor, where I had a college education. I'm trying my best to actually apply my theories to my career, and I actually did. There is YouTube, and I am having a ball with this, regardless of money. And I want to use all of the money, if I make it, towards my internet connection and maybe some of my bills if I get too many of it. But mainly it's for my internet connections to actually come on to the site with you to do these stories. Do I actually consider myself an artist? Yes. Lately I've been getting older, and is it important to me? Well, yeah, sort of. But yeah, once you get older, you think differently. But I'm set in my ways. I still love doing characters. I'm also doing other arts and painting, writing stories. And I did show you my art creations in the past. So, I've been here almost 2 hours already. And what time is it? It's 12 o'clock. Well, 12:30. It's 12:30, and I haven't even had my breakfast, whatever, my brunch yet. I am just so enjoying myself, and this is what it's all about: the enjoyment of each and every job or activity that you do. It's regardless of money. And you know what? Some people actually love working a regular job, 9 to 5 job. Yeah, but of course, can I work a regular 9 to 5 job? Well, I did try it, but me personally, I can't handle a full-time job because I'm not programmed to, my brain is not actually functional to actually work a full-time job. If my stress level will go on high and I just have a meltdown. So I'm not equipped to handle stress like that. But some people are. They know how to handle their stress levels because of the way they function. I don't function as well, so guess what? I would have a meltdown if I actually get stressed out during a job. I go into meltdown. So I tried it before. And if I could, I would work a full-time job. So some actually go back to school or come back on their hours, the hours that they work. I decided to actually go back to school and find some way to actually apply my theories and my mental health. Yeah, I decided not to retire due to the fact that I can't afford it. And yeah. And the arts, yeah, you'll only make money if you're lucky. That's the thing. So, not that many people make money in it. Yeah. And I could work full time if I'm equipped to handle it. I tried to work a full time job, but I couldn't. I just went into meltdown, and I did not handle the stress good enough. That's just some people aren't equipped to handle stress. Although there are some people who know how to handle stress. So, do I actually like it? No, I don't. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Steven. Okay. All right. Okay, I got a little bit left and then I'll call it. So, all right. Now, I did work on who I should bring on to my show. In the past, I did make the first invitation to Miss Kim. I did send her text messages. She said for me to call her, but it's expensive. So if she sends me her number again, yeah, maybe I'll call her. But so far, I've been sending her text messages, so she hasn't answered me yet. And I also got to Club Brain Frog. And I also sent an email to Dan Walks LA to invite him on my show. And let's see, and Marilyn Honey onto my show because she's into arts and crafts. And so am I. I love my art. I can't live a day without my art. So yeah, but my real love are in the characters. Yeah, I like being an actor, but that's not what I refer to now that I'm older. Yeah, I'm getting older. So I look at it differently now than I did when I was 21 and a teenager. I started when I was a teenager, but I look at it differently now. It's all about the character and having fun. Yeah, but then as the years go by, you would think differently about it. You don't think the same way. So, and I still love my craft. I still love the character. I still love to paint. I still love to draw. I like doing all that, but at the same time, I had to have a job. As usual, I don't mind working another job. It's just at the same time, when I was trying, my stress level went up so high. I crashed, I burned, and I went into meltdown. So I'm not equipped to actually handle stress. Some people are. Some people can handle the stress. Okay. Ready. All right. I think I'll dump in the rest. It's not really that much left, so. Okay. All right. Yeah, and of course, all the Scientologists, when they're in Scientologist, Scientology, those people will have a mental breakdown if they're up all night, work all day like that, the way they are working. They will crash and burn, and it's really serious matter because it's not healthy. And I think David Miscavige knows what he's doing when he's doing all these horrible things. Of course, it's tragic too at the same time because some of them are children. And when you're a child, this is the time of their lives that they should be out having fun and just be a kid. But no, L. Ron Hubbard had to treat them like they were an adult. That is not right. They can't get those years back. Jenna, David Miscavige's niece, his own niece, he treated his own niece that way. His own family. And she can't get those years back. Because it's impossible. So, but can she wind it up and get it back? No. Not unless God sends her back. She can't get those years back. And he is more selfish than I am. With me, I can get selfish, to be honest. If I said that, I'd be lying. But I work extra harder not to get selfish. Of course, one of my caseworkers, my psychiatrist, my counselor says that I'm not. But I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. It's tragic. Aaron can't get back being a 12-year-old boy. And of course, Scientology caused them to not even think about religion. Of course, I guess he's not into religion anyway, but yeah, and he can't get those years back. Nora can't get those years back. Liz Ferris and Liz Gale can't get those years back. Serge can't get those years back. Kids should just be kids. Of course, Janice Gillen Grady was a child also when she was in it. She actually was a messenger for L. Ron Hubbard himself. None of these kids can't get those years back. It's just tragic. Oh, sorry. I got tears in my eyes. And of course, I got older. Now I need glasses. Let's see here. With your video description, you would get more views. Okay. Yeah, you might be right. Of course, do I think about it? Well, yes and no. But at the end, it's all about enjoying yourself when doing your projects. The reason why I'm still in my craft is because I love it so much. Yeah. And it's all about the craft, not the money. But are there some people that understand that not that many people make it? No. They don't all make it. I didn't make it as far as I want to. I did for a while. I had an agent. I was cast in the past. But then I got to a certain age and it's just went down. So then that's the time in 2005 where I went back to school. I wanted to get a degree in education, but it looks like I have to be an aide right now. And I am doing other projects. All right, this is what it looks like at the end. Pumpkin pancakes, seasonal. So, and I put nutmeg and cinnamon. Now, this is the recipe I had before, only I added ingredients in it, and that's why I brought it to you. Okay. You have a new voice. You could do voiceover work. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could. Did I put in requests? Well, no, not. Well, I put in my resume and a couple of the in a couple of the ads on Facebook and let's see. Yeah, on Facebook. I did use X in the past to actually promote my my channel, but Scientology actually deleted it. They do that, and that's the trigger. I checked with that with some of the people who work for the site, work for the company, and they said that Scientology actually is hanging around. It's Scientology that actually sit at a computer all day to watch whoever's typing in Scientology and how they type it. The trigger word is anti-Scientology. That's the trigger word that they are using to actually delete another person's inquiry on learning about Scientology. Yes, that's what they do all day. I mean, yes, it's enough to piss you off. Yeah, that's the trigger word that they said that they use to actually delete another person's comment or inquire it. Some don't have their channels and require it to learn about them, what they do. They type in that word, anti-Scientologist, Scientology, they delete it. So, yeah, I did. I actually checked with them. I got onto their chat, asked them, and that's what they told me. I mean, the sad part is Scientology never has to suffer any consequences. That's what pisses me off the most. Okay, done. So I'm telling you, it is unbelievable what some of these people do in life. Okay. It's rotten. Some people are just rotten to the core. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, it's unbelievable what people do. Okay. And okay. Yeah, so when you go onto that site, be careful what you type in. If you want to learn about Scientology, just press in Scientology. Yeah, if you put that trigger word in, they're going to delete it. They don't care. Okay. I am done here. So I'm having too much fun with you. So this is it. So, no, at the end, you know what I'm going to say? Hit the like, press subscribe. I also have my PayPal. I'm working on buying me a coffee. If you want to contribute to my channel to actually get my internet connection off the ground just so I can be with you, you can go there. But guess what? If you can't afford it, don't even bother paying me. Just come on anyway, watch me, and that'll be gift enough for me. So, you know what I'm going to say? Hit the like, press subscribe, and I'm going to see you again about Tuesday, Wednesday with a new story. And of course, you know, I'll be back after that story Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, in an event of any channel, always be a never in Scientologist. Always be a never in. So, have a great, awesome day.